Tomorrow evening, you are invited out to get on your bicycle and ride to remember those who have lost their lives on the road in cycling accidents. So here to tell us more, Jill Christie from TxDOT and Mark Spurlock of the Steamboat Cycling Club. Welcome today.
Thank you.
Glad to have you both back. A few years of cycling under our belts?
Yes.
Just a few?
Yes. Actually, this is the sixth year we've had it here in Abilene. The event is in its 20th year and started back in 2003 in Dallas after the loss of a very well-known amateur cyclist in the Dallas area. And 1,000 cyclists showed up for the very first ride. And then the next year, 1,500 cyclists, and it had spread from Honolulu all the way to Maine. So we started this in 2016, and as you said from the onset, it's there to recognize those who have lost their lives in cycling accidents here in the Abilene area.
You know, I'm looking at a few statistics here, and thankfully in the last 3 years we have not had any fatalities. However, that doesn't mean that they have not actually been here statewide. You know, last year in Texas, 90 fatalities happened on Texas roads with someone bicycling. And the thing about bicyclists, they have to follow the same rules that vehicles have to follow. Anything on wheels has to follow the same rules.
That's exactly right.
Well, and it's very critical, and obviously for people to be aware of motorcyclists, cyclists, pedestrians, all are on our roadways today.
And
they are
to share the road.
Sharing the road, you know, we hear that all the time. I think a lot of times it becomes attributed to motorcyclists, but truly bicyclists are out there, you know, and you see them, and yet they've got their reflective gear on, like you've got on today.
Yes,
they want to be seen, but being such a small target, oftentimes people don't see them, especially if they're distracted when they're driving, which seems to be a more common occurrence, unfortunately. So we really want people to be attentive when they're out on these Texas roads, because 90 lives lost last year in Texas. Thankfully, none in Taylor County, but that's just too many. And we all know somebody who's been involved in some kind of crash. And maybe they survived, but you know, the recovery time, it's a lengthy one. I mean, these crashes that bicycles are involved with are just as treacherous. Well,
it's kind of hard for somebody to be on a 20, 30-pound bike competing against a 4,000-pound vehicle, so it usually doesn't work out.
So tomorrow night, grab your bicycle.
Come out. Well, we have things starting roughly about 6:30. County Judge Danny Bowles will come and give some remarks, and then Abilene Police Department will lead everybody out at 7, and we have a 5-mile route that we travel on the south side of Abilene.
In silence.
In silence. That's what we do.
Is this around Steamboat Mountain as well?
No,
thankfully
we will not go that far. We basically go from 20th over to Barrow, and then back around to McMurray. So roughly 5 miles.
Right through town.
Right through town, end up back at McMurray.
Okay, so this is an easy route, guys. It's not up and down hills. And hopefully our weather will cooperate and it'll be a little bit cooler at this time. But it's certainly to recognize those who have lost their lives and to practice safety on the road and practice that awareness and bring more awareness to that, because we want to continue cycling.
We want to.
We're seeing more of these bike lanes popping up in places, and you know, until we can get there completely, let's just in the meantime be more aware.
Be safe.
Wonderful.
You betcha.
All right, a free event. Come out and hop on.
It's a free event. Wear a helmet, and it's always good to do that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love that you're doing this again. I'm so glad we're having this back here in Abilene as well. If you all would like to come out and join the Ride of Silence, again, beginning and ending at McMurray University. It is tomorrow evening. You can check in at 6. The ride will begin at 7, and you can learn more at rideofsilence.org.